Hey everybody, it's Janice with Creating Through Chaos. I'm going to start this project off with this slatted heart that I got at Dollar Tree. The first thing I'm going to do is take off the hanger, and I am going to paint one of the slats over here on the left-hand side with a like petal pink color. It's called seashell pink. Once that was all painted, I am going to paint the very last slat with a vintage white color. So I'm just going to paint that one end slat. Once those were painted and they were dry, I am going to take these strips of scrapbook paper, and it's like a Shabby Chic style scrapbook paper that I got at Hobby Lobby. It came in one of the books, and I ripped some strips of it, and I'm going to find a placement for each of the strips on the other two slats of the heart that I didn't paint on. I'm going to take the Mod Podge and secure those to each of those slats. So I'm just going to put a coat down and then lay my scrapbook paper down. And then I will lay the other piece on top of the other piece, kind of combining them together. I'm going to pick which one that I want there, lay that one down, and then lay the other one on top. And then I'm going to go back underneath and kind of slide the paintbrush under there and make sure that that top one is secure. So just kind of run it right along the edge. And then I'm going to repeat the same on this end piece over here. So again, just adding a coat of the Mod Podge and then laying the strips down. Then I'm going to let those dry thoroughly, and then I'm going to sand off the excess. So now that they're all dry, I'm just going to take my little sander and go around and quickly sand off all the excess. I even did in between the slats just to make sure that it was all fully sanded. And now that it's all sanded and everything is all dry, I'm going to take my antique wax and I'm going to stain the insides of the little slats on all of the hearts. And then after I did that, I am going to stain the whole entire heart with the antique wax. So I'm just going to kind of go over, do the edges, and then run my way up into the centers. So I just want to make sure I got the edges first, and then start running the applicator right up the center. And once I got the centers done and I got them all stained, I just kind of took a baby wipe and went over and kind of controlled where the color was and how dark it was. So I didn't want it too dark, so I kind of pulled some of it back off. And I'm going to do the same thing on all of the pieces, just because I don't want it too dark, but I want it to be stained throughout the whole thing. And I thought that was perfect, and I love the way that it looks. Next, I'm going to take this lace ribbon, and I think this came from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to lay this big piece of it, and this is like a 1-inch ribbon, right down the center, and I'm just going to use some tacky glue for that. So I'm just going to add some tacky glue onto my heart and then lay my lace down on top of it. And I'm going to do this all the way across. I grabbed a paintbrush just to kind of spread out the glue because I didn't want it to be so thick. I wish I had done it on the first piece, but it was on the paper, so I didn't want to go ripping it back up and risk ripping my paper. So I'm going to just use the paintbrush on the rest of them. So I kind of did one slat at a time to make sure that I got it evenly across. And again, just using the tacky glue, making sure that I had enough of it. This is a pretty thick ribbon. Next, I'm going to take this other thinner ribbon, and I'm going to put that right above that piece. So again, I'm just trying to find the placement, and again, using the tacky glue. And just laying it on there, and then I'm going to go all the way across, just like I did with the other ribbon. Making sure that I get it all even, and then laying it down. And then I'm going to put another piece of that same ribbon on the underneath part on the bottom half. And I'm going to glue it on the same way I just did. So once I had both of those on there and I waited for them to dry, I'm going to take and cut off the excess. I waited till they were dry so I didn't peel up anything. Now that everything is dry and all set, now it's time to embellish even more. So I took this doily and I tea dyed it a little bit just so that it wasn't so stark white. And then this burlap heart from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to take and just put some Mod Podge on the back of this doily from Hobby Lobby. And it's just a small one. And I'm just going to add some Mod Podge to the back of that. And then I'm going to lay that on the left-hand side. And I'm going to lay it pretty much right in the center of that ribbon. Kind of press it all down. And then I'm going to hot glue that burlap heart right next to that other heart. Right next to the doily heart. And flip that over and place that there. Then I took a piece of the scrapbook paper. As you can see, there's kind of like little squares. This one was like a postage stamp. So I'm going to put some Mod Podge on the back of that, and I'm going to glue that right to the center of that burlap heart. So I just cut a small piece of it, and it kind of looked like a postage stamp. So I put it there. And then I'm going to add a piece of ribbon to the top of it. It's like a lace ribbon from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to hot glue that right to the top of the little postage stamp. Add just a little bit of glue. Place that down. And then I had this vintage style looking button. And I'm going to add that right to the top of that. And then I had this key. And it's a skeleton key that I tied onto a piece of that Dollar Tree lace ribbon. And then this burlap flower that came from Dollar Tree also. Put some hot glue on that and glue that right above the key. And I think this just turned out so super cute. I love all the little embellishments and all the different colors and the shabby chic look of it. And now I'm going to take some more ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree. And it's just a lace ribbon. And I'm going to push it through and add the hanger. So I'm just going to push this through. I ended up using my embossing tool to push it through because it was kind of a wide ribbon. And I was having a hard time getting it through the little hole. So I'm just going to use my embossing tool and push it through. And then pull it through. And then I am going to tie it off in a knot and then cut off the excess on both sides. And then this project is done. I think it turned out so beautiful. I love all the colors. I love the shabby chic look. I love the natural colors of it, where it's not that stark red for Valentine's Day. And it's got that beautiful shabby chic vibe. I think this could be left out all year round. I just absolutely love the way this turned out. I love all the different elements of it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope it inspires you to make one. And as always, don't forget to spread the chaos.